Deacon Mitchell and his administration thought it necessary to teach us Grenadians financial literacy through the purchasing of bonds. Here is Minister Cornwall as he explains.
Grenada launched its inaugural household bond initiative on Monday as part of a pilot in collaboration with the Eastern Caribbean Central Bank. The issuer of the bond is the government of Grenada in the amount of 5 million EC dollars offered to individual investors through the regional government securities market. Speaking during Monday's soft launch, Finance Minister Honorable Dennis Cornwall says the bond aims to encourage financial literacy and empower Grenadians to begin their investment journey.
This visionary initiative serves as a gateway for individuals to increase their financial literacy. It is designed specifically for individual investors across Grenada and the rest of the Eastern Caribbean Currency Union. When I say individual investors, I want to ensure that everyone understands that we are not talking about institutions such like the banks, the credit unions, the insurance companies, national insurance, and other pension fund or businesses who are referred to as institutional investors. I'm talking about giving regular citizens and family the opportunity to learn about investing, wealth creation, and wealth management through real-world experience that gives actual returns.
In other words, they broke. And they're trying to raise funds to support their only capital project on paper to be realized, Project Polaris. So we, the citizens, must take the burden. Now, here is the permanent secretary, as he further explains the launch of the household bond program.
The Ministry of Finance is seeking to inspire a cultural shift from saving to investing with the launch of Grenada's first ever household bond program. The initiative was announced on Monday by Finance Minister Dennis Cornwall alongside Permanent Secretary Mike Sylvester during a press conference. According to officials, Grenada is one of only 2 Caribbean countries piloting the program in partnership with the Eastern Caribbean Central Bank and other stakeholders. Grenadians can bid with a minimum investment of $500 and a maximum of $50,000. The bonds, totaling EC 5 million, are backed by the government's National Consolidated Fund.
Issuer for the household bond is the government of Grenada, and that is very important. In the sense that the bond itself is backed by the Consolidated Fund. So it's backed by the government of Grenada, and the principal repayment amount as well as the interest.
Interested individuals are encouraged to register early through the Ministry of Finance's website, as allocation will be on a first-come, first-served basis. The bonds will offer a fixed annual interest rate of 4.25% payable in May and November over a 2-year period. Bidding officially opens on October 31st and closes on November 21st.
This is a period where persons will begin to bid for the bond. And again, it's a first come, first served basis. So if the amount is actually reached and you bid, then you have a chance that you will not get through, right? And so it's important that you basically try to bid as early as possible. And that period opens up on the 31st of October, and it will extend to the 21st of November. So that is a subscription period within which you have to, or you're required to engage a broker to place a bid for a portion of the $5 million. In terms of the brokers,
investors will be able to choose from up to 6 brokers, including the Grenada Cooperative Bank. P.S. Sylvester noted that finer details, such as broker fees, are being finalized and will be available ahead of the official launch.
There are basically around 6 brokers operating in the sub-region. Our own Grenada Cooperative Bank is our local broker here. So if that's an option for you, then you can use that option. You have the St. Kitts, Nevis, Anguilla National Bank, that's another option. You have the Bank of Nevis Limited, that's another option. You have the Bank of St. Vincent and the Grenadines as another option, the Bank of St. Lucia, another option, and the First Citizen Investment Services as another broker within the region operating out of St. Lucia that you can also use as your broker. So
the program is being mirrored by St. Kitts and Nevis, with both countries' household bonds to be listed on the Eastern Caribbean Securities Exchange. Officials stress that the initiative is not about government raising revenue, but about creating opportunities for ordinary Grenadians to participate in the stock market and build wealth through investment. Rena Pierre Thomas, GBN News.
Not about government raising revenues? Then what's it for? And the other island, St. Kitts, they broke too. That's our Prime Minister's party and partner. They broke as well. They may be more broken than us, St. Kitts. So they are selling bonds to their citizens as well. Now let's dig into this bond thingy. A bond is a debt. It's a debt instrument. So when we purchase bonds, we, the citizenry, we are lending the government our money. And then we work in this said country to pay back the money we loan the government. Just think about that for a minute. That's what they teaching us, financial literacy. That's the literacy they're trying to teach us, as they say. Undercover, right? We loan the government and we pay, and then we are working to pay it back as well. Lest we forget, the debt of any state is the burden of the people, right? And we can all agree on that. The people and its future generations, our children, children, and it continues. We are the ones that's paying back the debt of the country. Here's what the Minister of Finance have to say on Canadians paying.
But again, from time to time you would have pressures on government funding and so on, because again, monies don't just drop from trees. We have to go out there and tax the population to get the monies to do what we have to do. And there are a lot of people who still believe that they should not be paying tax. I mean, there's no doubt about it.
What is the balancing act? What will we gain from this situation? Now, bonds are floated all the time, and anyone can purchase bonds, mostly on the regional stock market. People purchase bonds. You have to get a broker. Well, the permanent secretary alluded to that. And you have to pay brokerage fee. And then you purchase your bond. Here in Grenada, the Grenada Cooperative Bank is a broker. And then they gave us all the Kittitian ones and the ones in St. Vincent and St. Lucia everywhere. Now, the minister spoke of his government wanting to teach us financial literacy. I have been advised by someone in the business, someone who is financially prudent, that it is always wiser to purchase bonds in the foreign. In other words, from a foreign country. So as a Grenadian, you don't see Grenadians really purchasing these bonds because, as I said earlier on, it's a debt that you would have to work to pay back anyways. But what is mind-boggling is why are we, the ordinary citizens, why are we being asked to purchase bonds as a contribution to Project Polaris? Minister Cornwall, you told us that you were part of a team that were able to raise the funds for Project Polaris. And what about the 250 million US dollars we were borrowing from the Afri-Exim Bank? The pledge of the bank at the 4th Afri-Exim Forum held here in Grenada, the pledge of $250 million for Grenada towards Project Polaris. How is we, huh? How is we now? We, the people. Additionally, what's up with our usual creditors? The creditors from the usual financial institutions that we borrow from, like the World Bank, CDB, IMF, our usual creditors. Did we get turned down? Because I am almost certain if we could have, we would have. You know, you guys really take us for fools, huh? Financial literacy. You're going to teach us financial literacy. Only thing left for you guys to do now is to get on a DJ truck, on the back of a DJ truck on a Saturday, and go around the island, compete with the Grenadians who are trying to raise monies to help their loved ones travel, to save their lives. That's the only thing left for you guys to do, to raise money for Project Polaris. In the meantime, why not raise funds to maintain the general hospital? I am so tired of hearing of babies and toddlers losing their lives, dying at our general hospital. Why don't we raise funds to upgrade the Princess Alice Hospital? That hospital that's supposed to serve the rural areas, St. Andrew, St. Patrick, even parts of St. David. It's standing there like a big clinic. Our people are dying senselessly. And all you're studying to be the health capital of the world or the region. When we ain't have a pot to piss in when it comes to health care. Come on now, come on now. Let's think about saving lives before the fanfare, before we show off about health capital. Hang your hat where your hand can reach. And in another couple of months, you guys have to come back again to us for the okay, to beg for millions of dollars again, hundreds of millions of dollars, to satisfy your 2026 budget. Another loan appropriation bill to come to Parliament. To raise the money you need for the 2026 budget. Let's hear the Minister of Finance on the loan appropriation bill.
The Debt Appropriation Act that was approved in Parliament during the budget authorized the borrowing of $800 million. How much of that money has been borrowed to date, sir?
Okay, so we passed in the budget this loan appropriation bill, which basically authorized the government to borrow monies for its development side of the projects. For example, the roads, the buildings, and whatever infrastructural type. Because as part of the financing or funding of the budget and so on, we needed to show the populace where those monies are coming from. We talked about raising some extra monies on the stock exchange in the Eastern Caribbean.
Yes.
We also said we go after looking for funding at concessionary type loans to build our capital aspect of it. And so far, we have gone ahead and done a lot of work behind the scene. In fact, one of the major projects that we have coming up would be the hospital project, that is smart hospital project in Calivini. And so we have been on the road for the last couple of months, talking to who matters out there to basically make sure we can actually get those monies and so on. And as I mentioned earlier on, we are well on our way to get that monies. In fact, last week while I was in Vienna, I also met with the Arab Coalition group, which includes Kuwait, Dubai, Abu Dhabi, Qatar, and other countries, where we are basically interfacing with the institutions to see if we can raise the monies that we needed to make that hospital happen. Yeah. And while we are still having a few fine tuning to go, we should be able to announce before the end of the year that we have sourced the monies, and this is where we are going with it.
All right.
The roads, we're paying for the roads separately, right? We're paying for the roads separately from our pockets. People again. And by the way, half out of that loan from last year's budget went towards Project Polaris. Half of it was, I think, of $400 and something million was estimates for Project Polaris. What have we done so far? The bush ain't even cut yet. Folks, the bottom line is the administration is dead broke and actions speak louder than words. They ain't telling us that. But by their actions, all their stalled and slowed down projects. And all you're hearing is the contractor saying get paid. The contractor saying get paid. The contractor went for material and was turned down by the store, the hardware stores. Can't give you any more. We ain't get paid. Actions speak louder than words.